Bonjour tout le monde. Today we're learning about le passé composé avec avoir. So the past tense, the first past tense with avoir. So the way that we use the passé composé is that we're using it for completed past actions. So clearly, since it's the past, the actions have to have already been done and they're completed. They were completed in one moment, not continuous, and they're not still going on in the future. They're done. Some examples: j'ai fait mes devoirs hier soir. Last night I finished my homework. So you're saying I finished my homework last night. It happened once. It was done. Il a mangé le gâteau de Nicolas. He ate Nicholas's cake. And when Nicholas's cake was done, it was gone. He ate it. Voilà. Composition. There are two parts of the passé composé. Make sure you've got both parts, two parts. Our first is l'auxiliaire. And we have two different verbs that we can use as the l'auxiliaire. We have either avoir or être. Right now, because we're talking about the passé composé with avoir, that's what we're going to use. And then the second part is le participe passé. So first, looking at the auxiliaire, remember we can either have avoir, être, and you're choosing the conjugation of avoir, être based on the subject of the verb conjugation. So let's take a look. Here, if your subject is je, so if you were saying I finished my homework, you would say j'ai fait mes devoirs. If you finished your homework, tu as fini les devoirs. If he did, il a fini les devoirs, elle a fini les devoirs, on a fini les devoirs. Or remember, we can use this conjugation, this third person singular conjugation, if we're talking about a noun like Nadine a fini les devoirs. We could have nous avons fini les devoirs. We finished the homework. Vous avez fini les devoirs. Y'all finished the homework. And elles ont fini les devoirs. They guys or they girls finished the homework. So that's the first half. You pick a conjugation of avoir based on the subject of your verb. Then you have your participe passé. Your participe passé is based on the infinitive of the verb, whatever the action is that was done. So what you're going to do is you're just going to drop the infinitive ending, the er, ir, or re, and replace it with an e accent aigu for er, an I for ir, and a u for re. Here's an example. We have j'ai mangé un gâteau. Our verb is manger. Our subject is je. So because we have the subject je, we need our je conjugation of avoir. And then manger is an er verb, so we drop the er and replace it with an e accent aigu. J'ai mangé un gâteau. Ils ont accompli la tâche. Our verb is accomplir, which means to complete, and our subject is il. So we have the il plural form of avoir, ils ont, and then we have the past participle of accomplir, which is take the ir, drop it, and replace it with an I. Vous avez perdu les enfants. Perdre, vu. Vous avez perdu les enfants. Tu as fait les devoirs. In this situation, we're actually looking at an irregular verb. So a lot of the verbs that are irregular in the present are also irregular in the past. So you have to memorize those past participles, and we're going to have a list of those in just a minute. So to say you finished the homework, tu as fait les devoirs. All right, here are irregular past participles for all the verbs that we've learned so far. Make sure you copy these down in your notes and you memorize them. They're very, very important to know. We have être, the past participle is été, avoir, eu, faire, fait, boire, bu, prendre, pris, mettre, mis, servir, sert, vouloir, voulu, pouvoir, pu, dire, dit. Now, to make the passé composé negative, you're going to take your ne and your adverb, pas, jamais, rien, whatever it is, around the auxiliaire, and that's it. So right here, elle n'a pas fait les devoirs. Our normal sentence would be, elle a fait les devoirs. She did the homework. To make it negative, we put our ne before the auxiliaire and our pas after it. Elle n'a pas fait les devoirs. Ils n'ont pas mangé le dîner. They did not eat the dinner. So we have our ne before our auxiliaire and our pas after our auxiliaire. And then finally, we've got our passé composé with object pronouns. This only matters for direct object pronouns. So if you've got a direct object pronoun, those ones that were le, la, les, me, tenu, vu, if you have that pronoun before your past participle, you have to make your past participle agree with the gender and number of whatever was replaced by that object pronoun. So right here, if we see, elle a voulu la robe, she wanted the dress. Okay, if we're going to replace la robe, we're going to say replace it with la, contract it with a. Elle l'a voulu. But because robe is feminine, we actually have to add an e. This will follow the same rules as our adjectives because honestly, past participles are acting like adjectives for the most part. So if our object pronoun was masculine, singular, do nothing. Feminine singular, add an e. Plural, masculine, add an S, and feminine plural, add an ES. And that is it. À bientôt.